Good day, I am Geraldine Daaka and I'm here to report the last models of curriculum, which is the outcome-focused curriculum, and also the fundamentals and approaches of curriculum designing. So what is outcome-focused curriculum? Outcome-focused curriculum is also known as outcomes-based education. So what it is all about? Outcome-based education is a learner-centered approach to education that focuses on what a student should be able to do in the real world upon completion of their course or program. So basically, outcome-based education is a model of education that rejects the traditional focus on what the schools provide to the students in favor of making students demonstrate that they know and are able to do whatever the required outcomes are. The learning outcomes are complex statements of primary skills, the knowledge, the attitudes, abilities, and proficiencies that the learner will own at the end of the course. So there are four key features of outcome-focused curriculum. First is the creation of a curriculum framework that outlines specific measurable outcomes. Second is a commitment not only to provide an opportunity of education but also to require a learning outcomes for advancement. Third is standard-based assessment that determines whether students have achieved the stated standards. And lastly is the commitment that all students of all groups will ultimately reach the same minimum standard. So in in outcome-based education, the curriculum is carefully constructed by first determining the outcomes and also designed backwards by these three. First is carefully determining authentic assessment or how will you know. The second is choosing or building relevant learning activities and experiences. And lastly, selecting appropriate content. In OBE contrast with traditional education, which primarily focus on the resources or the content that are available to the students, which are called inputs, and it uses the methods which are learner-centered and focuses on the authentically measuring the student's performance, or we can call it the outcome. There are at least 6 levels of outcome in outcome-focused curriculum. First is the course learning outcome, which is it represents the integrated skills, the knowledge, and attitudes of a learner will own upon in successful completion of their course. Second is the program outcomes. It is a broad statement that describes what graduates of a program will be able to do out there as a result of what they have learned in the program. And third is the innate quasi-managed outcomes. It is reflected the thoughtful integration of the innate knowledge, the culture, the values, and also the principles throughout the course or the program. Next is the college-wide outcomes. These are set across all programs by institutions. And fifth is the territorial or the provincial professional outcomes. It is reflects program and professional standards set nationally, provincially, territorially, or by professional accrediting bodies. There are also 10 learning outcomes of outcome-focused curriculum. First is to provide a strategic way to enhance the quality of teaching and learning. Second is to prepare the students for the rest of their life, the context in which they will need to apply what they have learned in their course or program. And third is to provide a framework that aligns teaching, learning, and assessment methods. Fourth is to promote a collaborative, collegial approach to curriculum planning. And fifth, to ensure the approval of accreditation of a new and existing programs. Sixth is to provide a mechanism for ensuring accountability and quality assurance. Seven is to promote a self-directed and autonomous approach to learning. Eight is to provide means for students to articulate the knowledge, their skills, their attitudes, and their experiences acquired during their program. And 9 is to provide a tool for monitoring, evaluating, and improving the curriculum. And lastly is to help and to encourage continuity and mobility between varying post-secondary programs and instruction. There are also approaches to grading, reporting, and promoting an outcome-focused curriculum. An important byproduct of this approach is that students are assessed against external, absolute objectives instead of reporting the student's relative achievement. The traditional model of grading on the curve is also the top students will get the best grade and the worst students will always fail, even if they know all the material. Everyone else is evenly distributed in the middle. It is never accepted in outcome-based education or standard-based education. Instead, a student's performance is related in absolute terms. For the curriculum design topic, please proceed to the next link.